Experts from Penn State Cooperative Extension and volunteers from the Master Well Owner Network provide unbiased assistance to thousands of well, spring, and cistern owners each year. These experts realize that there are usually several options to solve private water supply problems. These options range from constructing a totally new water supply, to cleaning up sources of contamination, to installing proper treatment devices. Too often, homeowners that find a problem quickly jump to water treatment without investigating all of the alternatives. Let's look at Chris and Mary's situation and see what they can do to solve the water quality problems that they have discovered. Chris and Mary's well was not severely contaminated. If it had been, they could have looked into drilling another well at a different location or depth, or they could have paid to have the local municipal water supply extended to their house. They also could have decided to just buy bottled water to avoid the bacteria in their water, but it would have been better to try to stop the bacteria from getting in the well in the first place. In the process of determining the recharge area for their well, Chris and Mary realized how important and sensitive the area is around their well. They made sure to have the ground slope away from the well in all directions, and they are careful not to spray pesticides or spread fertilizers near the well. The bacteria in their well could have been coming from the nearby dog kennel, so they decided to move that away from the well. The bacteria could also have occurred from the lack of a sanitary well cap. Sanitary well caps are inexpensive and offer an easy method to keep insects, small mammals, and other sources of bacteria out of the well. Even if they find and fix the source of the bacteria entering their well, they still need to kill the bacteria that have already found their way into the well. To do this, they used a procedure called shock chlorination. To shock chlorinate, you need to know the diameter of your well casing and the depth of the water in the well. After you know these factors, you can determine how much chlorine bleach you will need to disinfect your well from a table in one of the Penn State fact sheets. The fact sheet explains step by step how to do the shock chlorination procedure. About 2 weeks after the shock chlorination, have the well water retested for coliform bacteria. If the bacteria are still present, a more permanent disinfection method may be necessary, like an ultraviolet light. Like any water treatment equipment, a UV light system will require routine maintenance to be effective. I also sent Chris and Mary some information on how to treat the hardness and iron in their water that are causing the undesirable tastes and stains. I explained to them that hard water is not a health concern, but it does increase soap demand in laundry and leaves a whitish residue on dishes and plumbing. Everyone's tolerance of hardness in water is different, but if it becomes too bothersome, they can install a simple water softener treatment unit. In a water softener, calcium and magnesium go through a resin where they are removed. As they are removed, sodium is added to the water in their place. For those folks watching sodium intake for health reasons, potassium can be used in the softening process instead of sodium. Or, since hardness is mostly a problem in hot water, you can also just soften the hot water and drink unsoftened cold water to get around this problem. Iron in water gives it a metallic taste and stains sinks and bathtubs. Like hardness, it is not a health concern, but most people find the stains and taste offensive. Luckily for Chris and Mary, the water softener that they are installing for hard water can also be used to remove the small amount of iron in their water. If they had had a higher concentration of iron, they would have probably needed a separate oxidizing filter to remove it. As Chris and Mary have learned, water treatment equipment is very complicated. There are all kinds of small filters, called point-of-use devices, that can be placed on faucets or under sinks to remove undesirable tastes and odors. And then there are larger treatment systems that treat all of the water entering the home, called point-of-entry devices. Trying to figure out which ones will work or are best for certain pollutants can be very confusing. There are some basic pointers that everyone should remember before shopping for water treatment equipment. First, make sure to have your water tested by an independent, certified water testing laboratory that isn't trying to sell water treatment equipment. Next, match the proper equipment to the problems found by the lab, and don't let a salesman talk you into buying more than you need. Penn State Cooperative Extension has lots of publications that can help you understand which equipment will work for the problems in your water. Most importantly, shop around and get lots of quotes, references, written guarantees, and warranties from numerous vendors, and avoid anyone using hard sales techniques or offering deals that sound too good to be true. Luckily, Chris and Mary found that they were able to solve their bacteria problem just by cleaning up the area around their well, installing a sanitary well cap, and shock chlorinating the well. The softener is also working great to get rid of the undesirable tastes and stains they were noticing. Solving problems with your water supply doesn't have to be overwhelming. Learn all of the facts about getting your water tested, interpreting the test results, and exploring all of your options for solving water quality problems. Your local Penn State Cooperative Extension Office has lots of resources and experts that can help you along the way. Most of Penn State's publications related to management of private water systems are also available on the Water Resources Extension website.